Hey, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review for your ears. Going to talk about 2014's Automata. Antonio Banderas saw the script, got early interest in it, got his wife to be in it, Melanie Griffith. Then they rounded up a whole bunch of other people like Dylan McDermott, Robert Forster, and a director by the name of Gabe Ibanez, who I've never heard of, and there's only this one thing that he's done. It's a Spanish-Bulgarian movie, but it's in the English language. It had a $15 million budget, was filmed in Bulgaria. It's actually pretty good as things go. It's got a lot of things you've seen in other movies, from Blade Runner to anything by Isaac Asimov. Matter of fact, the robot laws of this are semi-based kind of loosely on the Isaac Asimov laws of robotics, which, you know, probably would have been a better movie had they kind of stuck to those. But there's a narrative MacGuffin conceit that there's only two rules and the robots can't break either one of them, yet they find a robot breaking one of them. That's kind of the setup for the movie. And Antonio Banderas plays an insurance investigator. Dylan McDermott plays an enforcer of some kind, cop, hitman. Long story short, the Earth has been cooked by solar radiation, and we developed robots because the population dropped from 8 billion to 22 million. Not a lot of people left on the planet. We needed some help farming, doing stuff, and they started making these robots with the two laws, that they couldn't harm another being, another living thing, and they couldn't modify themselves. I won't get into spoiler territory because a lot of people haven't seen this movie. It's an Echo Bridge, Mill Creek release that's seen a couple of Blu-ray releases, but for some reason, the version that I found on HamiltonBook.com a long time ago was actually a very nice in one movie encoded on one disc with a high bit rate and actually a nice bit rate on the surround sound too. This movie had a $15 million budget, which is a sizable budget for a movie that really... They've got some special effects, but a lot of it is, you know, in the desert and not requiring a lot more. You've got some decent-sized actors, but they all have pretty small roles in it, except for Antonio Banderas. And if you've watched a lot of streaming shows, a lot of streaming movies, and walked away with them with a meh feeling, this one's a little better than that. I would call it a hair better than your average streaming science fiction movie that you watch and forget 5 minutes later. This does have some things that stick with you. I just wish they had done more with those things. They have some really great ideas and some really interesting things that they put forth that they just don't go deep enough with. You see enough to go, hey, all right, I'm digging this. And then they don't really do anything else with it. That being said, though, acting is fine. Special effects are fine. Narratively, it moves quickly. You pretty much keep up with everything. I just don't think it 100% comes home. But I feel that way a lot about streaming shows, that they're very close to movie level. For a first-time movie of a guy I've never heard of, this is a pretty well put-together movie. It does have some problems. It has some narrative mistakes here and there. But overall, if you're not paying a whole lot of attention and you just want to watch a good, decent science fiction movie, it passes by pretty quickly. It's not bad. It's, like I said, well-paced. The effects are good. Acting is pretty good. There have been a lot of movies in the last few years, in the last decade or so, everything from Chappie to Elysium to, well, you name it, a lot of AI films about where we're headed. This could be another idea of what might happen given the set of circumstances. I just wish they had done more. The robots are very interesting. The fact that these things walk and talk and do stuff, they're obviously special effects. There really can't be people in these suits. There's not enough room for a human in there. It all comes across really well done, surprisingly well done. I'm surprised more people didn't see this movie. Best movie I've seen this year, not even close. Worst movie I've seen this year, not even close. It's somewhere in the middle. And like I said, when it was over last night, I went, you know what? It has a positive ending, kind of an up note for humanity and this race of robots, so to speak. You know, in more experienced hands, this could have been a recent hey, that was a pretty darn good one. It's been out for 10 years and it really hasn't found an audience yet. I believe it's on most streaming services, so check it out. Automata. If you're into science fiction stories about robots and AI and how can they feel and do they have a place in society, that kind of thing, this movie kind of touches on all those things. It just doesn't dive deep into them. And as an hour-and-a-half long action movie, it's just fine. It's got some interesting things to say, some interesting sights to see, some decent acting along the way. Not bad for a first-time film from somebody. Anyway, Automata. It's been out since 2014. Give it a shot if that's your idea, something you might want to watch this evening. Got a lot of reviews on the way and more Rockstar interviews too, so thank you very much for taking time out of your day to listen to a podcast. I hope you have a great one.